Yep, I'm from India.
We are live. Oh my goodness. Okay, so welcome to Queer Wednesday Wisdom. My name is Dr. Lulu, aka the Malnutrition. I'm coming at you live from my backyard in North Mexico, aka San Antonio, Texas. And today I'm being joined all the way from India. Happy Diwali, by the way, my friend Akil. Hi.
Hi, doctor. Thank you for having me, and happy
How was your
Diwali.
Diwali celebration yesterday? Was good?
Yep, Diwali was amazing, as usual in India.
And congratulations on an Indian ancestor prime minister in the UK. What?
Yeah.
I was like, yes, the world is going to come to an end because what are those racists going to do? Wow. Anyways, welcome to the show. So if you're joining us from YouTube, from LinkedIn, or from my Facebook page, let us know where you're joining us from. Tell me who you are, and I promise I'll give you a shout out. I usually go live on TikTok as well, but because of the work that I do, yesterday, somebody reported me for doing homophobic content. I was like, oh my God. And so TikTok tossed my thing today. So I was like, okay, so I can't go live on TikTok, but there's so many haters. I mean, people they just want to hate on you. So if you're wondering who am I, my name is Dr. Lulu. I'm a pediatrician retired and a mom of a transgender young adult. I'm also a queer person myself. I like to identify as queer, even though truly I'm bisexual. But I like queer because it's one syllable. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But today I'm being joined all the way from India. By the way, I speak a little bit of Hindi. So I'm going to speak my Hindi now. Aap kaise hai?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
I bet you didn't expect that. Acha hai.
Oh, that's so sweet of you, doctor. Thank you.
Well, so I learned that from one of my Indian friends when I was a resident, and she said, "Just say abgasehe, achahe." I was like, "Okay, I'll say it," and I say it exactly the way she says it with the head movement. I was like, "Yes." But anyway, so we're going to be talking about all things queer today. Hopefully, there are folks joining us from LinkedIn. I'm going to take a minute when we go on break and check to see if anybody's joining us from LinkedIn. I want people to just feel free to have conversations. So the first part of the conversation is to ask you to introduce yourself. What's your name? How did we meet? And then how come you're on this show? Why did you choose to come on this show? Why is it important for you to talk about creating safe spaces at the workplace for queer persons? So the mic is yours, Akil.
Thank you, doctor. So, talking about myself, I'm Akhil, and I'm from India. I do belong to LGBTQIA plus community, and more of I belong to asexual spectrum, I would say.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I think, and I'm just going to stop you there for a minute. I am just kind of deviate a little bit because education is education, but I think I am in the demisexual space. But then demisexual is a subtype of asexual, but I don't think I'm fully asexual. So I think that's the beauty of the human being. Like we can be all of these things, and then we can be none of these things, and then we can be some of these things, and then we can be, most of these things or whatever. I just find like I have snippets of little, like the more I learn, I'm like, yeah, I have a little bit of that, and I have a little bit of that. So how did you, oh my God, how did you, not how, but well, I think how did you discover that you are in the asexual space? It's amazing.
It's like doctor to talk about asexuality, it's not pretty visible, you know uh,
Nobody talks
first,
about that.
yeah, first I thought that I'm into men, I like men, but I thought I belong to the gay spectrum. But when I started to hang out with gay men, there was no connection, you
Yes.
know yeah. So
So you might also be demisexual.
yeah, more
You
of,
think? Yeah. I like
like you said.
demisexual. I like demisexual. Demisexual, and for those who don't know, okay, you know what, Akil, you're the guest. So for those who don't know, how will you define a demisexual person? Actually, let's go with let's start with asexual first. Okay, you know what? I'm so excited. Oh my God. Okay. Before we start the definitions, and you can tell my brain is everywhere. I'm very neurodivergent. I have ADD and I claim it and I own it. I'm very proud of it. And sometimes I have to tame my brain because it's like it's going everywhere. So, first of all, you were telling us who you are, and then we'll just have to come back to all of that. So, who are you? I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I'm Akhil, and currently I'm working as the practice head of diversity and inclusion with a human resources consultancy, where we do provide people from LGBTQ plus spectrum, people with disabilities, women who are forced to take a break in their career, and people from the armies, who are not provided equal opportunities. So I deal with such people. I negotiate with multiple companies, multiple organizations, multiple MNCs. I break their bars. I bring it to minimal level, and I do place my candidates. So that's what I'm doing right now. Yeah.
Good. And your company is like really open and accepting
Yeah.
in India?
Yeah. That's pretty shocking, but yeah, that's the truth.
That's amazing. And listening to you talking, when I close my eyes, I actually hear the beautiful island accent. I hear like the East Indian accent, like Barbados or Guyana and co. Did you grow up there, or did I just miss it completely this whole time?
I'm actually from the southern part of India, where we don't speak much of Hindi, but we give more importance to English. So yeah.
And I picked it from your accent. I picked it. I was like, just listening to you with my eyes closed, even though they were open, I was like, I hear a very beautiful, almost East Indian accent. I don't hear the thick Hindi infused or Hindi influenced actually accent, which there's nothing wrong with. I have a Nigerian accent, but I was just like, I heard more of East Indian. I was like, he could be from Guyana for all I know, from, I don't know, Trinidad and Tobago, or I don't know which of the East Indian places, West Indies, for example. Like, oh my God, that's what I hear. Wow. Welcome to whoever is watching. Please let us know who you are in the comment section. And I promise I'll give you a shout out. I always love it when people join us and then they're gone. Okay, well, never mind. But yeah, welcome. Thank you so much. I'm going to check LinkedIn because usually when they come from LinkedIn, it doesn't register, but then they're there. So you're from the southern part of India. So what language do you speak?
I do speak Tamil. Tamil is one of the oldest languages that is still existing in the world. And more than Tamil, I'm pretty comfortable with English. So, yeah.
I love it. And I was speaking Hindi to you. Oh, Lord. Not good.
That's absolutely fine.
That's all I know. That's all I know. So how do you say good morning or hello? How do you say hello in Tamil?
Vanakkam, we say.
Vanakkam VC. Oh, wow.
Vanakkam. Vanakkam is what known as hello or welcome, like that.
Vanakkam.
Yeah.
Oh, it's almost like it's from English, welcome. Or maybe English is from there. Who knows? Since it's a much older language than English. So how did we meet and why are you on this show talking about creating safe spaces? Why are you here?
I happen to see a profile of a person who was very much vocal about, queer rights, how supportive a parent should be for queer children and all. And that person was you on LinkedIn. I was like, oh my God, this is the mother we all want, because we all, especially India, where even parents judge you.
Nigeria.
Yeah. It's pretty hard, and we all long for such understandable parents. And I was like amazed. So this is the mom we all wanted, and she's like on LinkedIn out there. So yeah, let's definitely get connected with her. So
yes, I love that. This is the mom we all wanted. I hope I am that, because as you know, and as I've not made it a secret at all. I've had my fair share of mistakes, and I'm trying to go on LinkedIn to see if anybody's joining us. So I'm going to turn the volume down, and if they can join us so there's no echo, but that way I can see them. Yeah, we have 2 people watching from LinkedIn, so a lot of times it doesn't register here, Patel. So welcome from LinkedIn. Let us know. Just type in the comment section your name, Cynthia Ariola, and someone else. Let us know who you are, and 3 people now. So this is good. And if you have any questions for my guest, I always open doors for questions, because you only regret the questions you don't ask, because then you guess what, you still remain in that ignorant space. So please ask us questions. We're happy to answer any questions you might have. And thank you so much for affirming me today, Akil, because I've never looked at myself as the mom we all wanted. I've never looked at myself as that. But there's a person I need to introduce you to on LinkedIn. Her name is Bhavna. Bhavna is also Indian, and she's by way of Tanzania. She was born in Tanzania, but she's Indian. And Bhavna said something similar. She said, "Oh my God, this is exactly what my mom was going through when I write about my experience. Sometimes I just have this, I just want to write. And then sometimes I don't." And she was like, "Oh my God, this is exactly how my mother felt." So thank you for saying that to me, Akil. So as we go on our first break, why do you think it's important to discuss queerness at the workplace, and especially the kind of work that you do, affirming and including queer people at the workplace? Why do you think that's so important?
It is so important, doctor, because we are existing and people are thinking that we are invisible. No, we are not invisible, and we are cornered to make more noise to make sure that we don't go invisible. Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, people, everyone, this is a man of few words. Akil, what are your pronouns? Are you he, him, or
I prefer they them.
they, them? So okay. Well, so this is why I ask. So this is a person of few words. Akil doesn't want to talk too much, but we're gonna make them talk today. So Akil, we're gonna go on our first break so you can get your water break, and then we'll come back and let's talk a little bit about asexuality and demisexuality, because I know somebody's gonna see this. Which, by the way, if you can see this, and you'd like to join the conversation, just type in the comment section. I can see them in my screen. And let's have your questions, your concerns. And even if you think that maybe you're a homophobe, let's hear you out. Yes, let's hear you out. Period. We'll be right back. The show is called Queer Wednesday Wizdom, where we talk to people either in the queer community or not. Most of them are true allies, and they're telling us about how and why it's important and imperative to have these kinds of conversations at the workplace. We'll be right back. My name is Dr. Lulu. We'll be right back. Thank you, Akil. I'm going to take a sip.
Thank you, doctor.
And so we're back. And so if you're just joining us for the first time, the show is called Queer Wednesday Wizdom. My name is Dr. Lulu. And yes, I'm a pediatrician. I'm a real doctor, and I play one on the internet as well. I'm also a queer person. And more importantly, I'm a mom of a transgender young adult. And that is my claim to fame. And she right now is my muse. She's the one that is the reason I do this. I actually quit practicing medicine so I could do this more fully. So I'm so excited. I'm currently working on my 7th book, the one about parenting a queer child. And I welcome you to just stay so you can listen to this some more and learn, because you may not know what you don't know. But my guest today is going to come from the asexual space. I think I've only spoken to one more person I've done at least 100 interviews. And I think I've only spoken to one more person who was in the asexual space. So I'm really excited today to talk to you. So Akil, tell us a little bit more about asexuality. And you're also thinking that you may very well be demisexual. So for those people who are joining us who are like, what is that? What would you say? How would you define asexuality?
Like you said, doctor, we cannot put people in boxes. We are some of this and some of that. And talking about asexuality, it's just the absence of sexual attraction. Just by looking at a body, you don't feel sexually aroused or sexually attracted to the body. So that is the definition of asexuality, just the lack of sexual attraction. And demisexuality, and we do have a lot of subspectrums. Sometimes you may get attraction, sometimes you may not. Based on that, we have a lot of labels, and the term demisexual is far more popular than its mother term asexual.
Yes.
Yeah,
That is true. That is true.
yeah,
And I love that. I love that you said so the global definition is the absence or predominantly absent sexual attraction. It's important that we say that because one of the big things that people talk about, one of the big misconceptions about the queer community is most people think, oh, LGBT, right away they think sex. And so the asexuals are here to put a plug in that. It's like, no, actually, no, not all queer people are just thinking about sex all the time. And then you mentioned to us also how your journey to put yourself in that general category. For me, I feel like labels belong at the grocery store. So I don't go by any label, but then again, I go by a label because society expects you to just choose one already. But the more I learn about myself, the older I get, the more I find out that I think I belong more in the demisexual space. And so demisexuals generally are people who require a deeper emotional connection before sexual. And for me, when I started looking that up, I found sapiosexual, which I think is the pure sense of who I am. A sapiosexual is someone who is attracted to intelligence. And so I need to have a conversation with you. I need to see that you've got stuff going on up here. In other words, anybody can be sexually attracted to anybody. But for me, it's important to me that we are able to have a conversation. And, I don't see it as a limitation. I see it actually as a superpower for me because that's how I roll. So, have you found that to be true for you, Akil?
in my case, doctor, in many of the asexual people's case, it's pretty hard to figure out whether you're belonging to the spectrum because the label asexuality itself is not visible.
Yes.
LGBT, those four terms are more visible than the AI and all. So it's
Mm-hmm.
pretty hard for us to, figure out, okay, fine, I belong to this group and I have to look for my subgroup and all. At first, I thought that I'm gay. And when I joined the gay tribe, I didn't feel the belonging there. And it took me almost 6 years to figure out that, okay, fine, there is something called asexuality, and I do fit in here. So it was a long journey for me, and it is still a long journey for many people. Yeah.
I love that. And I think the beauty of having these kinds of conversations is bringing these kinds of things to the surface. This is not a conversation that you would ever hear people have at work. Yet, there are people at work today who are asexual and they would rather hide under the umbrella of heterosexuality just to go along, just so they can cross the street and mingle with the crowd. But really, there's a lot of power in knowing that you are a sub-minority of a sub-minority of the ultimate minority. Like that is so empowering, I almost feel, because you're coming out and saying, no, this is who I am. I don't care if there's only five of us or only one of us. This is who I am. So thank you so much for bringing that to the surface. So as we're talking about queerness at the workplace, what are your thoughts or what are your reasons? What were your thoughts and what were your reasons for going into doing, I guess you're in the recruiting space. Is that what you are on a big umbrella? Why did you decide to do that? Of all the things you could do at work, why did you choose recruitment of people as your space?
Talking about my choice of taking this job, I would personally say it's because of my activism. I run a
Mm,
trust for organization for LGBTQIA plus people's welfare,
mm.
and I was a panelist on a social media platform, and that's where the owner of my organization, she saw me speaking, and she offered me the job. The reasons, yeah.
That is amazing. That is amazing. I don't know if you saw me dancing on TikTok yesterday. And we have a comment from Paul. Hi, Paul. So I'm going to post that. So Paul is one person that's watching. Paul says, thanks, Dr. Lulu. Big ups, guys. So Paul is going to be coming on the show very soon, I hope. Paul is from Kenya and is one of the LGBTQ plus activists over in Kenya. Paul, I hope you decide to come on this show and put your organization and your fight on the map, for as much as we can. That's what we can do. We just have to use our voices to create social change, which is what Akil is doing. You are an activist, and through your activism somebody saw you. That is so powerful, because yesterday I had an interview with Pride Global, and while I was talking to the gentleman, it occurred that, you know what, maybe you actually be able to work with our healthcare branch. Maybe you get a job there. And I was like, just like that, just talking about what you love to talk about, and then the universe just place it on your lap that, okay, this is what I want you to do right now. So congratulations. How long have you been with the company?
It's almost 6 months with the company, and I am actually letting them know how queer affirmative they could be, because they should learn and someone should teach them.
Yes.
Yeah.
They should learn and someone should teach them. That's a powerful quote. They should learn and someone should teach them. And I want to focus on the fact that we need both of them for the learning to occur, for the actually, no, for the understanding to occur. They should learn, but then they should also have a teacher, and they should be willing to reach out and lean into the transformation that comes with acquiring the knowledge. That is so powerful, Akil. I'm so happy. This is just blowing my mind. And this is one of the reasons why I try not to interview my guests before the show, because I need my reaction to be authentic. Because if I already know what you do, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like it's not authentic, but this is so cool. So how has it been for you to be an Indian, a queer person working in India, to feel accepted and affirmed at the workplace? How is that for you?
I feel like I can breathe peacefully, to be honest. Yeah, because in my previous workspaces, doctor, they weren't safe. I cannot be myself there. Had I been myself, like open and out there, a lot of bad things would have happened to me. But this is the space, where I can be myself. I can openly say that, yeah, I belong to the rainbow spectrum. I do carry a rainbow on my back, and I don't get judged for that. Yeah.
So, but I love this conversation, because now what I want to say, what I want to ask you now is, how do you now integrate the safety you feel, the psychological and cultural safety you feel at your place of work, when you step outside of the building or the space that is defined as your work? How do you feel outside when you now meet the rest of India who don't work at your place of work? How do you reconcile that?
Sometimes I would feel threatened when I see a group of people, like what if they come to know about me or harass me and all. But with the online spaces, I do make a lot of noise, the rainbow voice I do, because online I'm pretty safe. But when I get into the streets, there is no guarantee for my safety.
Yes.
So even though we do run support groups, so we try to be very subtle, very hidden. We do have shelter homes, but the address, it's not available for majority of the population. Only to the queer community, the address is available. So we are trying to be more on the defensive side,
Yes.
because being activists, if we are risking our own lives,
Nice.
no one will
Yes.
be there to help out the people who are in need of help.
Yes, if anything happens to you. That is so true, because Paul, and I don't know if Paul is still there. Paul, if you're still there, please come in. Paul is actually doing exactly that in Kenya. I think it was a week or two ago. Paul and a whole bunch of their LGBTQ plus family, they went live, and people were talking about how they're being attacked and how they're being killed and put in prison. And it is just such a painful thing to not be able to live authentically. And so, what do you think is the effect that you have had at the workplace by being able to bring your own lived experience to the table? And how have you been able to integrate that with the people that you work with, the people that you recruit, those particular people? How have you been able to do that?
Yeah. So with my work, I am really performing well. I am one of the star performers who's been loved by the organization. And I've been like given a lot of important position at a very young age. I'm just 24, but I am 24, and I've been given.
Akil, no way. I could be your mother.
You are already.
Oh my God, because my child is 24. My eldest
Wow.
child is 24. Yes, I did not know. I mean, I didn't know one way or the other. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. I feel so blessed.
Yeah, so they are giving me, a lot of important tasks to be done, and I'm getting it done. And talking about my candidates, as most of them are from the minority group, either people with disability or LGBTQ plus, or people who served in the army, I do have a personal connection with them because that is what makes me more human, gives meaning to the struggles what I've been through as a queer person, I believe. And I do have a personal connection with them, and I talk to the clients, even though my clients are big MNCs with so much bars. I do convince them. I do ask their own HR team to lower the bars and push the profiles of my candidates so that they can get placed, and that is happening. And I'm seeing people from marginalized groups are getting good jobs in good organizations because of the little push, little efforts I make, and that's giving a meaning to my existence, and I'm really happy about it.
That would make me very happy. And you're only 24. So do you ever, and this is just me asking, and you don't have to answer this question, but do you ever plan on maybe starting your own consultancy business? Because it sounds to me like you're already on the path and or at least advocacy business, or maybe even nonprofit. I know you said you sit on a trust, on the board of a trust. You're so young. I had no idea how old you were. I had no idea. Nothing could have prepared me for that. I did not know. I did not know.
Yeah, doctor, we do have plans regarding that, a lot of plans regarding that, and I'll leave it to the future because the future is uncertain.
Yes, yes. And so we're going to go on our second break for the show. The show is called Queer Wednesday Wisdom, where we talk about queerness at the workplace. A lot of times it ends up being just my guests really sharing their stories. But we're all connected by storylines. And so they share their stories on their way towards telling us how either they have been able to create safe spaces at the workplace or tell us how we can create safe spaces at the workplace. So my guest today is Akil, all the way from India. Thank you to StreamYard for being able to make this happen. This is the magic of technology. I'm sitting in my backyard and they are sitting in their living room and we're able to have this conversation about asexuality and bisexuality and or whatever sexuality. This is just so powerful. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to come right back and we're going to talk about how then do you create safe spaces at the workplace? What should you do? What processes should you put in place so that your work people feel seen, feel appreciated, and feel included and feel like they belong? So we're going to be right back. The show is called Queer Wednesday Wisdom. Don't go anywhere. Give me 1 second. All right, drink your water. My guest does not want to drink their water today, so
Yeah.
we're not going to make them drink their water. So, but we're back. Welcome back to the show. My name is Dr. Lulu. If you're wondering, I'm a pediatrician, I'm a speaker, an author, an all round agitator of the governor of Texas. Yes, I am. But I'm also the queer queen who will teach you how to allow your queer coworkers, your queer children to breathe, like my guest said today, how to allow them to breathe. So if you're interested in learning more about that, just send me a DM on any platform that you see me right now. Send me a DM or make a comment or something, and I promise I'll get with you. I also do a lot of trainings, DEIB trainings. I do a lot of workshops. I do speaking engagements, and I just go live. And I came up with this Queer Wednesday Wisdom this year I think it was in June after my Facebook got hacked. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go to LinkedIn and try to agitate them a little bit over there. And I said, you know what? I wasn't seeing anybody doing anything like this on LinkedIn. So I said, let me go in and see if I can make them start talking about queerness at the workplace. Because They're queer people at your workplace. So welcome to the to Q3 of the show. Thank you so much, Akil, for being here. Thank you for joining us. I don't know what time it is. What time is it over in India right now?
It's around 12 a.m. Yeah,
Mm, are you 12 hours ahead?
yeah, doctor.
12:30? I had no idea. Oh my goodness. Well, let's hurry up and get you out of here. Um, so how then do we create safe spaces at the workplace? What are the processes that you have put in place where you work, or what are the processes that we can put in place? And where do we start? I know I have a couple of guests who came and said they start at the C-suite level, and then the employee level, and then the queer person themselves. And you already kind of alluded to that. You said they have to be willing to learn, and then you have to be willing to teach. So what are the stuff that you teach them? How do you create psychologically and culturally and safe spaces at the workplace?
Yeah. So I would say, doctor, this is the right time to educate people, especially the corporates, about queerness, because the diversity and inclusion policy, it's becoming a trend.
Yes.
People want to hire LGBTQ plus people want to hire people with disabilities.
Neurodiverse, yes.
Yeah. So as it's becoming a trend, people are ready, especially the top-notch people, CEOs of organizations. They are ready to learn, and we have to make use of this, and we have to, sensitize them. From them, slowly, we have to go to the next level routes, because the primary route is the CEO, and once they are really comfortable and they are understanding things, they'll be more open towards sensitizing the whole organization. So
So,
that
but
is
how do
some.
you get? But how do you get the C? Sorry to interrupt, but how do you get the C-suite people to learn? What do you do?
We can, especially, we run a trust, educational trust for educating people also.
Mm-hmm.
We can have a word with them that, we can organize a workshop
Mm-hmm.
where, we can educate them about LGBTQIA plus community.
Mm.
uh, as a whole, we can elaborate, we can let them know the difference between gender and sexuality and all the basics. We can start with the basics. What is the difference between sex and gender? Like the little basics, we can start with it and we can educate them on that. And that is working actually. We are doing that. And we have been to schools also. We have educated a lot of teachers, because school is the place, where we all should learn it at a younger age. So we are
And
doing that
school
also.
is where the bullying takes place. So yes.
Yeah. So that is happening. And when I'm dealing with my clients, the human resources team of my clients, I do educate them. I do let them know the struggle of the people, what they are going through. I won't reveal anyone's personal story, but as an LGBTQIA plus person, the struggle, what they're going through, it cannot be compared and they cannot be put on par with the cis het counterpart candidates. So break the experience bar, bring it lower, understand what these people are going through, being a minority, what they're going through. Do not focus only on diversity, try to be
Yes.
more inclusive also. So that is
Yes.
what I'm telling them, and it's working also.
It's working also. I love that. Do not focus only on diversity, because a lot of people will check the box. Well, we check the box. We have one Muslim woman. We check the
Yeah,
box. We have an immigrant man. We check that box. I mean, he has a hearing aid. We check that box. Or she has ADHD, like Dr. Lulu. We check that box. But are you helping Dr. Lulu to function at my highest? That's inclusion. So
exactly.
how has the response been from
Yep,
the
I'm,
people that you're
I'm getting
working
really good responses. Whenever some MNC is approaching me for LGBTQ plus candidates, the first question I'll be asking them is, do you have a gender neutral restroom?
with? Yes. Thank you for bringing that up, because one of the things I mentioned is the airplane has gender neutral restrooms. Your house has gender neutral restrooms. Most hotels, and I say that because you don't know who used that restroom before you came, before you booked that hotel room. So people just want to, for the sake of being different, they just want to be different for the sake of being different. But really, I'm so excited. This is so exciting. Thank you so much for the work you've done. To be so young, I did not know you were this young. This is so exciting. Wow. Now, when you come to the so gender neutral restrooms, that's a big one. What else? Let me write that down. I want to write that down. So, what else do they have to look at?
Do they have any sensitizing workshops or program that is happening in their organization?
Mm-hmm.
Because giving them a good candidate from our community, it's possible, and they can have a gender neutral restroom also, but that won't guarantee that our people will be safe.
Mm-hmm.
Educate people, educate humans. For that, we need the workshops to be done.
I love it. I am really in shock that the story you're telling me today, and being that you're in India, this is so good. So gender neutral restrooms, I guess maybe frequent trainings, because people come and go, frequent trainings and workshops. Yes. Oh my God. For workshops and trainings for the employees. I guess sensitivity training, is that what you call it? Sensitivity trainings?
Yep, sensitizing programs.
Mm, sensitizing programs. Oh my God, yes. Yes, and have you found that people are responsive to this, from both sides of the aisle, so to say? Have you found that people are responsive to
Yes,
to
yes,
this stuff?
people are really responsive in a good way, and I'm really happy that I'm making a difference. Because people, even though they to be frank, doctor, we have to educate them. They don't know, and unknowingly they may say something that will hurt us. And being the first person to be march forward, I'm getting the bullets, but still, I'll be like brushing them off, and I'll be slowly educating them. No, this is not how things are working, so this is how things are. And then they are learning it, and I'm really happy. I do believe that that struggle is worth, because they are learning it, and they will not repeat it with any other queer person throughout their life. So yeah.
I love what you said. That is so powerful that you're the first one there. So you're learning how to dodge the bullets, but also every now and again you catch it and you toss it back and say, you know what, this is actually not the way to do that. And then you're seeing that they are like, oh, I love you said unknowingly. They can unknowingly say something, but the critical thing is that, are they able to right themselves? Are they able to correct the impression or whatever? And how they truly don't know. My therapist, she said something that was so important. She said to my child, we went to have a therapy session together. She said, you know what? You are the subject expert in being transgender. And so she was like, and because my child was like, Mom, you need to learn this, you need to learn that, you need to read this, read that. I was like, and then I said, but you can just tell me. And then she's like, no, I'm not going to tell you. You need to read it. And then my licensed therapist said, you are the subject expert in yourself. So you have to also bend a little bit. And if somebody wants you to teach them, you should be willing to teach them. So I'm very happy that you're saying that, because a lot of queer people say, well, I don't ask me, go read it up. And I'm not saying you should not read it up. Please, I don't want anybody writing any hateful comments. I'm not going to address them. I'm not sitting down here saying don't read it up. I had to learn. But also, if somebody wants to meet you halfway, it's okay to meet them halfway. Does that make sense, Akil?
Yep, that is so true. Because if we look at the structure of the world, doctor, women are, in the position to educate men about patriarchy.
Mm.
People of color are in position to educate white people about racism. The same pattern. LGBTQA plus population is in the position to educate the cishet majority. I mean, of course, it would be really great if people who are privileged can learn on their own. But when they don't have resources, it falls in our hands. and us being full of love and empathy. When we are emotionally empowered, we overflow with love, and with that, we can educate them, because not everyone is approaching us with the intention of attacking
To
us or
hurt.
harm. Yeah.
Yes. Wow. And the funny thing, I attended a conference last week at Harvard University Hospital. And one of the things that they said was, they said one of the students that I think maybe, I don't know, a young kid, maybe 17, 18, 16, I don't know the age. But what he had said was, he said when he got to, and I can't remember his pronoun, but he was male presenting. But he said when he got to his high school, his middle school, he realized that he was the only person that could educate the school. So while he wasn't too thrilled about it because he's not a speaker, he's not this, he's not that, he was actually thankful that he was the one that had to teach the school. And then after teaching, after giving a talk, maybe to his classroom or whatever, somebody came up to him and said, "You know what? Thank you so much for doing that, because my sister is transgender. And I've never thought about what my sister is going through. And so thank you for saying that." Sometimes people have to just relax and realize that you have been put on this earth to do this work. And so just do it. Wow, this is just so amazing. So now we've talked about the C-suite level, we've talked about the employee level, workshops and programs. What about the queer person? Besides teaching them, which, as we just talked about, I mean, I guess that's it. But is there anything else that queer people at the workplace can do to foster a more inclusive environment besides the teaching? Is there anything else? Or how do they react when people say stuff and they're like, "I can't believe you just said that." Oh, I mean, I don't know. But what about the queer people? What should they do?
Yeah. So educating people is not for every queer person. Like, for some queer person, it will be exhausting. For some queer person, it will be emotionally triggering also. So people who are having that emotional bandwidth, they can do it. Like activists, like us, we are they
Yes.
for that. Yeah, for a particular reason. But queer people in particular organizations, they can form a club, so that they can have that more belonging feel, and they can have some club-based activities, potluck or movies together, like that in each and every organization, so that they'll be having their own chosen family. Yeah.
Yes. I'm writing it down. For chosen family at the workplace. That is so powerful. And the beautiful thing about that is that can also, take them to the outside world, because we spend a lot of time at work. We spend upwards of a third of our day at work, 8 hours. I know now we have COVID and people are not, some people are working from home, but you spend a lot of time with these people. So being able to create a space where they're able to say the things that they can say, it's very important. Let me see. Wow. Akil, we're going to go on our last break. And when we come back, we're going to ask you if you'd like to share how can people, I don't know, find you on the internet? How can people support the work that you do? How can people get more involved in creating safe spaces? I mean, I don't know, for you. So we're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back so I can rest my voice. And yeah, I'll be right back. So amazing. So Akil, whew, thank you so much for coming. I know you know that we've tried to do this before and we had to reschedule, but finally we're here. So Akil, tell us, how can people find you? How can people support your work, your trust fund? How can people follow your work on the internet? Where can people find you? I don't know, in India. I don't know if it's safe. How do we do that?
Yep. So I'm on Facebook and I'm on LinkedIn. My profile is public, and anyone can drop me a message on Facebook or on LinkedIn. I'm always available, and yeah, that is there. And if people who do want to support us, they can contact me. I can provide them the details of our trust, the social media links of our organization, the work we have done and we are still doing, so that people can support us with that. And we are a 100% transparent organization. Whatever we do, the funds we get, everything is pretty transparent with people. So yeah, that is there.
So I'm going to ask you if you could, because I can write. So if you, can you tell me the name of the trust fund so I can write it down and post it? What's the name?
Yeah, it's LGBT Educational Trust.
Is that .com or just that's it? Is it
The website
www?
the website is www.letsgetbettertogether. That is LGBT .co.in. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's true. So let's get better together.com.
.co.in.
Oh, because it's oh yeah. Oh, okay, that's true because it's India. co.in.
Yep.
Oh wow, let's get better together. Ah, I never thought about that before. You learn something new every day. Oh my God, let me write that to support. Oh my goodness. You need to remind me to connect you with Bhavna also um and also Kevin. Do you know Kevin Shaw?
Yep. You have tagged them in my comment section once, I believe. Uh,
Yes, I
yep.
want you all to meet each other. So are you all are you have you kind of made a connection?
Yep.
Not everybody, but I mean I think you should connect you should all get to know each other. Okay, I put that together. So to support Akil's LGBT www.letsgetbettertogether.co.in. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes. Yes,
Okay,
doctor.
very
Thank you.
good. Okay, so do you have any? I never know the word to use yet, but I guess final words, going away words, any words of advice, any words as we end the show for people who would like to maybe start doing the work that you do at the workplace. What would you say to them on as we try to get, end the show?
I just want to start by letting all the LGBTQA plus folks watching our live session know that we are with you, and it's like what I'm doing right now. It's because I'm in an empowered state emotionally and financially, and that is not possible immediately for everyone. Because when I came out, I was disowned by my parents, and more likely my mother tried to kill me. Yeah. So, and after that, the struggle was on a different level, and I
Oh
totally
my
can understand, yeah, and empathize with our people. So just don't give up. We are always here, reaching out our hands, and just follow your dreams. We'll definitely, try our level best to support you. Just reach out for our own people and ask for help. And to the people who are trying to, from the cishet population, who are trying to create more inclusive spaces, I would definitely recommend you or suggest you not to consider your LGBTQIA plus uh, folks as an equal competition, because they have been through so much in their life, and if they are getting prioritized at work, that is the least you can do. This
oh
entire world is being structured for your benefit, and the least you can do is do not get jealous or feel bad about their success. Be happy about their success, because that is the least part you can do from your end. Yeah, so that is it from my end, doctor.
that is so powerful. Is the least you can do. And bringing that home to America where we live, where the governor of the state of Texas, Florida, they're going after children and their parents. That's just mind blowing. I love that. It is the very least you can do. Wow. Thank you so much, Akil, for coming today and pouring out your heart. I felt your energy. I love that, we're both in the same field of work, but we're two different energies. Your energy is so calming. I'm not that. I'm not a calm person. And I've learned to make peace with her. For a long time, I used to be like, oh, my ex-wife, she's like, oh, just calm down a bit. But that's not who I am. And my superpower is actually to be extra. That's my superpower. But my children are not like that. All my children are like you. They're very mellow. Now, here's the thing. Even in their mellowness, each of my children is an activist like you never saw. Like if they have their mind on something, you can forget it. You can't get them to shake. And so I felt that with you today, that you are a quiet strength. And I pray by the grace of God that one day we will meet in person. Akil, I'm supposed to be coming to do some of the trainings with you. Okay, so we're gonna have to do that now because I'm getting that arm of my business. I'm doing better, and I'm talking mainly about, obviously, as a physician, health inequities, but I'm helping people see, especially the doctors. So what I want from you, Akil, is to get me connected with the healthcare field in India because I know there are lots of Indian doctors, so I can come and they don't know what they don't know. Because when I was in medical school, the only thing we learned about LGBT was AIDS, HIV, AIDS. That's it. I was like, I'm never, ever telling anybody because it was bad. So
Yeah.
today I'm like, okay, well, guess what? I'm a doctor. I'm also queer. So I am you and I'm also your patient. But I couldn't say that when I was in medical school. And now I'm able to use that intersectionality, which is very unique, to educate doctors. So I would like for you, this is me putting a personal plug, to connect me with some of the doctors. I can do something virtually or I can do it in person. And now we'll talk about that offline. But
Yes, doctor, we can get it done. And thank
yes,
you so
suffice
much
it.
for having me, and thank you so much for doing this. Like, you're making so much rainbow noise online, which is very much needed right now. And we all can see us very supportive mother, being very inclusive. And, it gives me the comfortness, it gives me a satisfaction. We all want to see this, parents being so supportive, and we are witnessing it. And thanks for doing that.
Thank you so much. It takes a lot for me to have no words, and I have no words. Thank you so much for joining me today. It has been amazing. I see a lot of people watching online, but they're just not showing up here. But I hope more people will watch this. I'm going to share the link with you so you can share. I'll tag you so you can just share it with your people if you want to. And thank you so much for the work that you are doing. I appreciate it very much because all our voices are needed: black, white, brown, yellow, Indian, Nigerian, whatever. We all, because there are queer people in all those spaces, so we need to keep fighting. So I pray that the universe will bring us together someday in person so I can hug your neck. And
Oh,
until then, I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for coming.
you're welcome, doctor. Thank you so much.
And for everyone who's listening, thank you all so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for being supportive. Thank you for wanting to learn. Thank you for leaning in to the transformation that comes with new knowledge. Your brain needs this. And maybe one of you found yourself today in one of these spaces: asexual, bisexual, queer, I don't know, sapiosexual, demisexual, whatever or none ever, right? The bottom line is thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central again. If I have a guest, I'll be here. If I don't have a guest, I don't come because I need to interview people. I have 3 podcasts, okay, and a radio show. So I save my voice. If I don't have a guest, I'm not going to come. But if you are on Instagram, join us tomorrow at Dr. Lulu Talk Radio. I have a guest who's coming to tell us their coming out story. And maybe Akil will come one day. We don't know. But it's at 1 p.m. Central on Instagram at Dr. Lulu Talk Radio. Please follow us on all social media, especially our YouTube channel, so you can watch all of my crazy videos. I go live a lot. And on that note, if you're a parent of a queer child and you're looking for a community, I have one. Join us every Monday at 6 p.m. Central via Zoom. We have a support group for parents who, like you, know in their heart that they love their kids, but they just sometimes don't know what's the next step. We got you. And then to push it even further, I have a brand new retreat that I'm planning for you. It's called Dr. Lulu's Parents of Queer self-love retreat, because I believe in my heart that if you can love yourself enough, the ripple effect will be your child being accepted, affirmed, and supported. So until next time, namaste. Bye.
Bye, doctor. Thank you.
Love you.